We've done everything in Disney World, so I promise that you're in the right place if you're trying to figure out the best of the best. We've booked the reservations, paid the cash, and narrowed down the ultimate Disney World bucket list, so all you have to do is have the best trip ever. Hey everybody, it's AJ for Disney Food Blog. Now we've created an ultimate Disney World bucket list for you today, filled with lots of unique activities and experiences that you might want to consider adding to your own bucket list too. I'd say we've got a good variety of options here today. A mix of stuff that ranges from being easy peasy to accomplish to perhaps something way more challenging that you'll have to wish upon a star to do. And to make things even more fun, I'm going to add a star next to my top recommendations so you know which experiences I'd make a number one priority if I were going to create a personal AJ Disney World bucket list. Okay, number one, this is obviously on my starred list because it's number one on the bucket list. Stay at your dream hotel. Every time I've thought about my Disney World bucket list, it has always included the next hotel I want to stay at. And this started from way back on my first visits to Disney World when it was Animal Kingdom Lodge and Boardwalk were my bucket list hotels. So which hotel for you, regardless of value, moderate, or deluxe, is the one that comes to your mind first when you think about a bucket list at Disney World? For some, it might be AKL for the Savannah views outside your window and just that incredible immersion as soon as you walk into that lobby. For others, might be Port Orleans Riverside, so you can book one of the royal guest rooms with the LED fireworks and the headboards. And some of you might even dream about staying at Art of Animation for the themed family suites, including 2 bathrooms and multiple character inspired pools, but let's focus on the 2 bathrooms. Or maybe somewhere else entirely different is calling your name. Staying in a Disney hotel is cool in the first place, but staying in your dream Disney hotel just hits different. Number 2, celebrate a big milestone. So it could be your little brother's birthday, or your baby moon, or your parents' anniversary, or your best friend's bachelorette party. Whatever the reason to celebrate may be, it's extra fun to celebrate at Disney World with all the fireworks and the good drinks and the entertainment everywhere you turn. Plus, if you grab one of those free celebration buttons from your hotel's front desk, or over at guest relations in front of any of the parks, then cast members will know to dote on you a little bit extra during your visit. You might even be surprised with a free dessert during one or a few of your meals. Don't expect it. It's not guaranteed, but it might happen. The thing is, though, no 2 celebrations look the same. Take it from me and the DFB team. We've celebrated everything from first haircuts to engagements to 5th grade, graduation, right, in Disney World. So what we've done is collected all our favorite ways to celebrate special occasions, from the super classics to the totally unique to the, what do you mean Disney does that? I had no idea, those kinds of things. We put them all into one downloadable PDF. Spoiler alert, some of the bucket list items you'll learn about in today's video are featured in that PDF. And there are a bunch of surprising extras too. So if you want to take a peek at it, just scan the QR code you see on the screen now. Or if you're on your phone, head to disneyfoodblog.com/special and we'll send it your way. Okay, this is a weird bucket list item, but there's still something really satisfying about accomplishing it regardless, and that's to catch the bagging of the fish. During the finale of Fantasmic over in Hollywood Studios, characters from the show float past you on a giant boat, right? A big steamboat with Captain Steamboat Willie behind the wheel. For the safety of these characters, they'll all head inside the boat to take cover before the fireworks start to go off, with one exception. One of the characters on the boat is Ariel in her mermaid form, and since she's flipping her fins, she's not going to get too far, aka she can't walk inside the boat like the rest of the characters. Thankfully, Prince Eric is there to save her tail, literally. No, he doesn't carry off his blushing mermaid bride. Instead, right before exiting the top of the boat himself, he wraps a flame retardant blanket over her so that she can be safely covered and protected from the fireworks. This action is affectionately known as bagging the fish. So next time you watch Fantasmic, keep an eye on Ariel and Prince Eric if you want to see it happen. Or don't if you don't want the magic of the moment spoiled for you. Okay, a dream truly is a wish that your heart makes, Cinderella, and our hearts are wishing and dreaming to dine inside your castle. When you make reservations for Cinderella's royal table, you'll have the rare opportunity to dine inside Magic Kingdom's park icon, known across the globe. Not only that, you'll also get to take part in a wishing ceremony and meet a variety of fan favorite Disney princesses during your meal. Reservations for this one are some of the trickiest to get, so be sure to set your alarms for 6 a.m. Eastern and wake up once you're 60 days out from your vacation. That's the earliest you'll be able to start booking those table service experiences. So Disney's got special villas that are A, tough to book, and B, expensive as all get out, and C, absolutely a dream come true if everything works in your favor. The first and possibly most coveted are the Bora Bora bungalows over at Polynesian Village. These sit atop the Seven Seas Lagoon and have a beautiful distant view of Cinderella Castle. You'll have a full kitchen, living area, multiple bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, enough room to sleep up to 8 people, and a private deck with a plunge pool that's small in size but mighty in relaxation. The Copper Creek cabins over at Wilderness Lodge are often glazed over when the topic of Disney hotels is brought up, but that doesn't mean those who are in the know aren't desperately trying to book a few nights here during their trip. They are beautiful. You definitely aren't going to be roughing it at the Copper Creek cabins because you'll have your fireplace and a spacious living room, full kitchen, separate bedrooms, washer dryer, and private built-in hot tub on the enclosed back deck. Like, sorry, this isn't even glamping. This is straight up bougie and bucket list worthy living. Now, I wouldn't lie to you. The churros at Nomad Lounge inside Animal Kingdom are far and away the best ones you're going to eat on property. Hands down. Don't even ask questions. Like, these are the best churros in Disney World. They are fluffy on the inside, slightly crispy on the outside. They come with the seasonal dipping sauces, plus they are gluten-free. Win-win for everybody. And if the churros weren't good enough on their own, the Nomad Lounge itself sure will be. Yep, there's nothing quite like sitting back in the Nomad Lounge porch, sipping a cocktail and munching on your fill of churros. Now, I know if you're subscribed to the channel, you hear me talk about these churros at Nomad Lounge all the time, but wouldn't you agree they belong in a bucket list? Okay, did you know that you can ride Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run in Chewie Mode? Yep, Chewie Mode is a secret mode on Smuggler's Run that requires a very specific set of instructions to unlock. Here's how it's done. Before the ride starts, do not activate your position right away. Instead, have the left and right pilots push their controls to the far left or right and far up or down. Once the pilots have done that, they should push their activation button. The engineers and gunners sitting behind the pilots need to hit one of the white buttons on their console before hitting the orange activation button. Once cast members give the clear to launch, you'll start hearing Chewbacca yell at you throughout the entirety of the ride, which is just, priceless. All right, so this isn't going to be on the top of everybody's bucket list, but maybe it should be the top of yours. I have taken several solo trips to Disney World, and as much as I love going with my family and my friends, there's something about a solo trip that is just so refreshing. A solo Disney World trip means you get to do everything you want to do. That might mean waking up super early for rope drop each day, or sleeping in every day, staying out late, or calling it quits at 6 p.m. to enjoy pizza up in your hotel room, eating at multiple fancy restaurants, or snacking your way through each meal, riding everything or riding nothing at all, prioritizing Disney Springs or skipping it completely. Or you can just do what I do and buy a bunch of strawberries and eat them in the bathtub. So the power to curate the perfect Disney World vacation rests in your hands when you take a solo trip, and it's probably one of the best things you can do for yourself. So you could honestly tie in a fireworks cruise with a big milestone point from earlier, because what better way to celebrate a life event than by piling you and your 9 closest friends into a boat to watch Disney fireworks from your own little secluded viewing area out on the water. Private fireworks cruises for Magic Kingdom and Epcot take place on 25-foot pontoon boats driven by your own cast member captain, and these cruises depart from the marina at Disney's Yacht and Beach Club Resort if you want to watch Epcot's luminous fireworks, and any of the Magic Kingdom area hotel marinas if you want to watch Happily Ever After instead. You can even request extra celebratory banners and balloons upon booking the cruise, which are included at no extra cost. That wasn't the case a few years ago. You used to have to pay extra for those, so that's awesome that they come free now. Fireworks cruises do start at $449, but prices vary by date. Okay, now that you've experienced the tip of the Disney iceberg, aren't you curious to see what else there is to explore and learn around the parks? Because believe me when I say, there's a whole lot more you can do here, and there was already a lot to begin with. So on the special events and tours page on the Disney World website, you can browse a ton of different premium tour options to tack on to your future visit. This was always on my bucket list because I wanted to do all the behind the scenes tours and learn everything about Disney World. These behind the scenes tours include the behind the scenes at Epcot. This is going to be the most affordable one you can do. So it's a good, gateway, a good entry level behind the scenes tour. And it's where you get to explore Disney's greenhouses beyond the living with the land boats. The Caring for Giants and Up Close with Rhinos at Animal Kingdom, those are super fun. It's an opportunity to get up real close to Animal Kingdom's Savannah residents and learn more about them too. Keys to the Kingdom, this is absolutely what you want to do if you love Magic Kingdom. It's a chance to see what's going on under the Magic Kingdom during normal park operating hours and behind the scenes around the park as well. Dive Quest at Epcot, so you and your certified scuba skills can swim inside Epcot's 5.7 million gallon saltwater aquarium. And you can even book a private VIP tour, which will provide you with your own private tour guide, private vehicle, and personalized Disney itinerary that you customize to make sure you hit up everything you want to do in a Disney day, minus any of the super long waits. But remember, that one's going to cost you like thousands of dollars. The rest of them I talked about, much more affordable. Cheap? No, but much more affordable than a VIP tour. Okay, this is one of those super accessible bucket list items. Just about anybody can probably spring for this if they're in Disney World already. Whether you're looking for VIP Fantasmic seating at Hollywood Studios, or you want to make sure you've got one of the best seats in the house for one of those Epcot Festival performances going on in the America Gardens Theater, then a dining package is going to help make sure you don't have to stress over show seating arrangements later in the day. I am a big fan and a big proponent of getting things all tied up with a bow so that I don't have to stress all day about getting a seat somewhere. And that's exactly what dining packages do. They guarantee that you've got a seat for the big show that you want to see, and it'll be a good seat and you won't have to worry about it. So dining package prices vary depending on the restaurant you choose and the event you're attending, but all prices are listed on the Disney World website. Nothing's going to be a surprise. You might also be able to use Disney Dining Plan credits on a dining package too, which we're going to talk about more in our dining plan hacks videos if you're curious to learn about it. Next up is booking a Magic Kingdom dessert party. So I felt like Magic Kingdom's dessert party deserved its own bucket list entry, even though it's kind of like the other dining packages and gives you those VIP views of the happily ever after fireworks. It also works a little bit differently. Over at Tomorrowland Terrace, where usually nothing's going on anymore, this seemingly abandoned quick service opens its patio to offer 3 different fireworks dessert parties for the best happily ever after views park-wide. You can choose to attend the pre-party, seats and suites, or the post-party. The seats and suites party is a little pricier than the other two at $119 to $129 per adult versus $99 to $109 per adult, but that's because you get to watch the show and enjoy your desserts from the comfort of the Tomorrowland Terrace patio, and you get a seat, thus the seat in Suites and Seats. Meanwhile, the post-party and after-party will still be escorted to a prime standing room-only viewing location on the Plaza Garden, since their dessert parties take place before and after the show instead of in the middle of it. Okay, we've got another little starred entry here, trying all 4 Epcot Festivals. Who's ready to become an Epcot Festival completionist? Epcot's got 4 festivals they put on throughout the year. Festival of the Arts, which we call Farts, in early winter, Flower and Garden throughout the spring, Food and Wine in the fall, and Festival of the Holidays in late winter. Now, while each festival has similar setups, i.e. multiple food booths, live entertainment, limited edition merchandise, they each also offer a complimentary, unique take on your next Epcot visit. From the live artists at Festival of the Arts to the dozens of character topiaries at Flower and Garden to the drink and bite pairings at Food and Wine and the international storytellers of Festival of the Holidays, plus that candlelight processional. A different Epcot festival means something new to discover every time you go. And of course, these change every year, so you really never know what's going to be highlighted when you're there. So try them all. Let me know which one you love the most. Next on my bucket list, take a long trip. Imagine, if you will, having enough time to do everything you want to do in Disney World and still being able to relax, like not feeling guilty when you sleep in and not feeling guilty when maybe, I don't know, you have a pool day. It's a wild concept, right? But not necessarily impossible. Not when time is on your side. And I know that some of you are looking at the TV right now and you're going like, AJ, why would you feel guilty if you sleep in? Because you guys are more balanced than I am. I, however, am not balanced, and I feel like I need to be like wringing every dollar out of the trip that I possibly can. So if you can do this without feeling guilty, that's great. But if you can't, then this tip is for you. Okay, short weekend Disney World trips are great for those who have limited vacation time or who don't want to spend all their vacation funds on one trip. However, when you plan a Disney World vacation that's over 7 days, not only do you have the option to revisit certain parks you didn't get to fully see in a single day, but you can also schedule in some break days throughout the trip where your group can rest and recharge, maybe actually enjoy the fact that you can see animals from your balcony at Animal Kingdom Lodge. I don't know, work in some leisurely days doing nothing else besides lounging out by the hotel pool. It's the ultimate in luxury, especially when you realize how much money you're spending to just be there, right? Right. You get it. Okay, how about getting all 6 songs on Cosmic Rewind? This is one of those new bucket list items, right? Honestly, if Everybody Wants to Rule the World by Tears for Fears starts playing during your next Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind ride through, then there's no need to experience the other 5 songs because you've already gotten the best one. And no, I'm not kidding, and I'm not taking questions. But Cosmic Rewind over in Epcot is a fun backwards launch coaster, and one of the biggest appeals of it is its randomized 80s soundtrack. There are 6 different songs you can potentially collect, and if you're able to get them all, well, I don't know, that's just bragging rights if you're a Disney adult. Now, my scriptwriter Bria finally collected all 6 songs, and she is very, very proud of herself. And I need to know in the comments how many you have collected. Okay, timely for this video, but definitely a bucket list item is visiting Hollywood Studios on May the 4th. Now, this might be a big bucket list item for you Star Wars fans out there. Star Wars Day at Disney's Hollywood Studios takes place on May the 4th each year, because May the 4th be with you. Not only will you be surrounded by lots of other Star Wars fans, but you can also pick up exclusive merchandise and grab special treats around this time. I'd say this event is really more about the Star Wars camaraderie than anything because the park really does get packed on this day each year, especially in Galaxy's Edge. But the energy of all the Star Wars fans gathered in one location is a whole lot of fun, especially if you're a fellow Jedi or Sith Lord. And if you're not, well, maybe choose to go to a different park on May the 4th instead. Maybe it's not an extravagant bucket list item on its own, but there isn't any ride out there quite like Flight of Passage in Animal Kingdom. What words would I use to describe the experience that is Flight of Passage? Transcendent, immersive, thrilling, colorful, spiritual maybe? Yeah, all the above works. Flight of Passage might be a flying theater style ride, but it's one that will make you feel like you're actually flying on the back of your own Banshee across the fantastical landscapes of Pandora. When I took my 82-year-old mom on this ride for the first time, she did not stop talking about it for about 3 days. So that just shows you this is the kind of thing that nobody's experienced before. It's more than just a theme park ride as far as I'm concerned, and so it's definitely a bucket list item. And moving from transcendent to just a lot of fun. Now that I look back on this bucket list, we've actually got a handful of Star Wars inspired items on here that I think the mega Star Wars fans and the casual Star Wars fans, or even the I'm just happy to be here Disney guests can all come to appreciate. Like trying a beverage or two inside Ogas Cantina, for instance. Now, Ogas is one of the few bars in Disney World that takes advanced dining reservations, but if you do get a spot in this place, you'll be transported into a spaceport bar that serves otherworldly concoctions with boozy and not so boozy ingredients. The weirdest concoction featured on Ogas' menu is a little beverage called the Fuzzy Tauntaun. It looks innocent enough at first, just a fruity cocktail made with peach vodka, peach schnapps, orange juice with tangerine, and pure cane sugar, basically a fuzzy navel, right? But it's the buzz button tingling foam that really makes this one kind of shocking. So that foam on top isn't called buzz button tingling for nothing. When you taste it, it really does make your tongue and lips numb. Not as drastically as a trip to the dentist, but you certainly get that temporary numbing sensation. The effect doesn't last very long, but it lasts long enough for your group to all laugh at each other for a minute or two. Okay, sorry if this sounds weird or creepy, but one of my favorite things to do in Disney World is feel like I kind of like own the parks. And the best way to do that is to go to an after hours event. So these events happen throughout the year. There are usually seasons where they're scheduled in each park, but I'm not talking about the holiday or Halloween parties here. I'm talking about the straight up after hours events where the park is open for 3 hours after its official closing time for event ticket holders. And it is empty, y'all, like scary empty. There will be parts of Epcot where there is literally nobody else within viewing distance of you. You go back into the hedge maze in the UK pavilion during after hours and you will be frighteningly alone. See, I told you I'm a little weird. But having access to so many rides with such low wait times and free snacks and drinks and that glorious feeling that you've bought out the whole park and have it all to yourself is just such a unique experience at a theme park where you're usually battling crowds day in and out. Anyway, you can book your ticket on the Disney World website. Tickets are open to everybody, but some events do sell out quickly. Remember back in the 80s and 90s when Disney was all about promoting their land and sea vacations? You'd spend a few days in Disney World and then bus on down to Port Canaveral for a Disney cruise, right? Well, I haven't seen them promo these as much lately, but seriously, what a great idea. Spoiler alert, a Disney World vacation is mega exhausting. It's the quintessential, I need a vacation from my vacation. So imagine how amazing it would be to complete the marathon that is a Disney World trip and then embark on a Disney cruise, where all you have to do is sit on your balcony and order room service for 3 days and maybe make your way to the spa for a massage, if you want. Now, you definitely have to earn the title of Best in Vehicle on Toy Story Mania. So that means you're going to have to dial in and earn your title fair and square. Toy Story Mania is a rootin' tootin' point and shootin' arcade ride where you'll compete in a series of carnival-style games to rack up your high score and triumph over everyone else in your car. And then you'll be worthy of wearing this DFB shirt hot off the DFBstore.com website. Imagine how good it's going to feel wearing this shirt around Hollywood Studios. Not everyone's going to know you're truly a champion worth admiring and fearing unless you do. So how about experiencing a Disney attraction on its very, very first or very, very last operating day? This is kind of a twofer because I guess these would be 2 bucket list items. Disney's constantly updating rides or replacing attractions to make way for the next big thing. Now, it's Disney's way of keeping the parks fresh and exciting, as well as preparing for the next generation of Disney fans to fall in love with this vacation destination. However, that doesn't mean guests aren't sad to hear about an attraction they've loved for many years suddenly getting stamped with an expiration date. There's always the appeal of jumping on an endangered Disney ride one last time before it has to say goodbye for good. But there's a true allure about that absolute final ride through of something that's truly remarkable. Cast members of the attraction and longtime fans will gather together and cheer loudly and make speeches and probably sing the song from the ride and quote the narration one last time. It is a moment you want to capture in a bottle, where like-minded people can bond over an attraction they grew up with while giving it a proper goodbye. But on the flip side, it is super exciting to be one of the first people to ride a brand new attraction. It seems like the whole world is waiting with bated breath to find out, is this new ride as good as we're hoping? Will it make me sick? What's behind the construction walls? Is the storyline cool? Is there a drop? There's nothing like the adrenaline rush of riding a Disney coaster on its opening day, having absolutely no idea what it's going to be like inside that giant show building. Definitely a bucket list item. What Star Wars fan hasn't dreamt about piloting this hunk of junk before? Thanks to Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run in Hollywood Studios, you have the opportunity to become one of the pilots aboard this famous ship. Now, becoming a pilot isn't exactly guaranteed because you could also be placed in a role like gunner or engineer. Bummer. However, if you go with a group of 5 or 6 people and your group agrees to let you take the wheel or, the sticks, then you're golden. You might also be able to ask the cast member designating roles if there's a way you can sit out a ride through or 2 in order to become pilot on the next flight. Cast members won't always be able to say yes to this request depending on the crowd levels that day, but never hurts to ask because their answer might just wind up playing in your favor. It was always a bucket list item of mine to go to every Disney hotel. Maybe you don't necessarily want to stay at every Disney hotel, but you can at least visit every single one of them, and you can do that completely free. Now, before you ask, yes, that is quite the accomplishment because Disney World has over 20 hotels ranging from values to moderates to deluxes, and each Disney hotel has its own theming and restaurants, activities, and shops for you to experience. So there's a lot of ground to cover here. And if you've got time, you might want to do a resort hopping day and see how many Disney hotels you can check out in a single visit. Just be sure to study up on how to successfully jump between resorts before you go. Driving your own car and parking at a resort that you're not a guest at is typically a no-go, except if you have dining reservations for a restaurant at said resort that you're trying to visit. Plus, Disney buses do not typically travel between resorts unless the resorts are part of the same afternoon bus loop. So there's lots of ways to master this, but definitely study up on the bus routes and the bus loops so that you know the best way to get to all the hotels. Now, of course, everybody has on their bucket list to complete the Drinking Around the World challenge. Each of Epcot's 11 countries represented around World Showcase is stocked with boozy and non-boozy beverages alike that best represents the drinks each location is known for, which is why Disney fans have created their own challenge over the years. Try to down one drink inside each of the pavilions. The challenge sounds easy enough at first, but if you're choosing to accomplish this feat with strictly boozy drinks alone, you might find yourself throwing in the towel or throwing something else early on, just to be on the safe side. While I think you can easily do this challenge by going the non-alcoholic route as well, which would honestly be a whole lot kinder on your wallet when all is said and done, if you decide to double down on the more spirited path, try to order smaller beverages, maybe more of the flight sizes if available, and see if another member of your group is down to split a few drinks with you too, because anyone who's attempted this challenge in the past can tell you, Epcot is heavy-handed on the pours. Don't go into this thinking you're going to get basically sugar water at these places, because an authentic World Showcase beverage truly means an authentic beverage, from the flavor to the ABV. So maybe you set the booze aside during your Epcot Park day, but you're still intrigued by the thought of accomplishing some sort of a drink crawl during your Disney World vacation. I get it. These are awesome. This is when the monorail and Skyliner can be your best friend. Each of the Disney resorts has their own assortment of alcoholic beverages available at their pool bars and lounges and quick services and main restaurants. Since both the monorail and Skyliner can easily carry you over to the other resorts also featured on this transportation line, doing a little bar crawl might be easier than you realize. Along the monorail line, a drink crawl is only going to consist of 3 stops. The Polynesian, I recommend the Lapu Lapu from Tambu Lounge, my favorite, the Contemporary, and the Grand Floridian. Here is where Bria recommends her Lavender Fog. That's her favorite. Meanwhile, the Skyliner is going to have a few more stops for you to check out, stretching across Pop Century, Art of Animation, Riviera, Caribbean Beach, and if you're really committed to the crawl, you can finish things up with the Epcot area resort loop, consisting of Boardwalk Inn, Yacht Club, and Beach Club 2, maybe even Swan and Dolphin if you want to throw them in. If you want to ace whatever drink crawl or crawls you decide to attempt, they are all detailed in our DFB Guide to Walt Disney World Dining. And we don't just stop at the monorail and Skyliner crawls. We've got lots of other Disney World drink and snack crawls for you to check out as well. You can even get a discount on the book by typing in the code YouTube before you hit purchase. So Tower of Terror at Hollywood Studios during the day is pretty spooky. Tower of Terror at night is even more so. While the mood at Tower of Terror isn't exactly all sunshine and roses to begin with, there's just something about a nighttime ride through on this drop tower that's gonna spike you with extra chills and adrenaline. From the flickering hotel signage out front to the windows opening to a lit up park down below, the eerie vibes are all the more intense at this haunted hotel once the sun goes down. So while I have done Run Disney races, running isn't exactly in my wheelhouse, but if it's in yours, then the Run Disney races are going to give you a half marathon experience unlike any other. Each year, Disney World hosts 4 different Run Disney events. These take place before the parks open for the day, giving the chance for runners or speedwalkers to earn cool medals and experience sideline entertainment while they sprint through and around the perimeters of Disney World parks. Run Disney races usually consist of the Walt Disney World Marathon Weekend in the middle of January, Princess Half Marathon Weekend towards the end of February, the Springtime Surprise Weekend, that one's brand new at the start of April, and the Disney Wine and Dine Half Marathon Weekend toward the end of October. If you want to sign up for a Run Disney event, you're going to have to do so well in advance. Typically, registration opens up 7 months ahead of the race and books up fast. So you'll want to check out the Run Disney website to figure out when your next opportunity to sign up for a race is going to go live. Otherwise, you might miss your window of opportunity. So there's a hotel room, There's a Disney hotel room, and then there's a Disney hotel room with VIP treatment. Aside from the personalized assistance you're going to get from the concierge staff, one of the biggest benefits of staying club level or concierge level at Disney Deluxe Resorts is the food and drink that you'll get for free throughout the day over at the exclusive lounge, open for club level guests only. Now, many club level guests plan at least one, if not two or more meals inside the lounge during their stay, which can help pay for the upgraded room. However, if you're looking for a slightly cheaper club level experience, Gran Destino Tower over at Coronado Springs Resort, the only moderate resort that has a club level option, also has club level rooms to book. This is the only non-deluxe resort on property with club level, so definitely consider this one if you want to try out club level without, breaking the bank. I mean, you're still going to break the bank. It's still expensive, but it's going to be something a little bit less than a deluxe resort club level. 'Tis the season to knock off yet another item on our Disney World bucket list. Disney World's got 3 different holiday after-hours parties right now that you can book a separate ticket for. There's Jollywood Nights that happens in Hollywood Studios each Christmas season. Then there's Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party and Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party that happen in Magic Kingdom, and you can probably guess pretty easily which party is offered during what season with those two. Each holiday party takes place after the parks close, which they will close early on those days, something for general ticket guests to keep in mind. And during these events, you're going to be able to experience limited time holiday entertainment like rare meet and greets, exclusive shows, and free seasonal treats, as well as some premium limited edition treats too. Plus, the rides do stay open during the events and typically offer much shorter waits than they post during the day. You might even come across a ride with a holiday overlay. And of course, I know I mentioned meet and greets, but they are really, really good at these events. Victoria and Albert's over at Grand Floridian Resort and Spa isn't just a restaurant. It is a multi-hour, multi-course, Michelin-starred, AAA awarded fine dining experience that you won't soon forget. This critically acclaimed restaurant gives you your choice of 3 dining experiences. First, there's the main dining room, which features the chef's tasting menu and allows you to choose anywhere between 8 to 12 courses that'll be personalized just for you about a week prior to your reservation. Next, you've got the Queen Victoria room, which only accommodates up to 8 guests at a time, spread out over 4 tables of 2. Guests dining here will be able to enjoy a version of the chef's degustation menu, which changes up regularly depending on what's fresh and in season. And finally, you've got the Victoria and Albert's Chef's Table. This is an ultra-exclusive 3-hour-plus dining experience where your party is seated in the kitchen itself, and you're going to be able to talk to the chefs personally as they craft your very own menu, featuring solely fresh and rare ingredients that complement your group's specific preferences. Wine and zero-proof pairings can also be added to your meal for an extra cost. Now, prices for V&A start at $295 per person, so if you're serious about your fine dining, you're going to want a really fat piggy bank to save up enough money for this one, but it's worth it. The characters that you're going to find meeting and greeting with guests around Disney World are not just for kids. There are characters that you've grown up with, characters who told stories that got you through tough times, and characters that encouraged you to pursue dreams that felt too out of reach. Yep, meeting your favorite character while you're in the park might trigger an emotional response, but it's okay because no one knows your story like you do, and no one understands what these characters mean to you. It can become especially emotional when you've always thought a Disney World vacation was out of reach to begin with, and then suddenly you're there and your favorite character's there, and the tears might start coming. But the great thing about character meet and greet is that even if no one else understands what they mean to you, the characters always do. Characters will meet you or your kid at your comfort level. They'll walk up to escort you to the photo pass area, they'll give you space if you're feeling overwhelmed, and they'll lead the conversation if you don't know what to ask or say. So go ahead, meet your favorite character, meet your hero, ask for their autograph, give them a hug, and take a picture for memory's sake. Ah yes, watching your favorite person meet Mickey Mouse for the first time. You think it's cool meeting your hero? Just wait until you watch your favorite person meet theirs. Whether it's your kid or your partner, your best friend, or even your parent, it's kind of like how you're more excited to watch someone open a gift you got for them than you are to open your own gifts, you know? It's heartwarming to the max to see someone you love meet their favorite character. I can remember watching my mom ballroom dance with Goofy on a cruise once, and her smile is just etched in my mind. Now, I love the Disney parks, you know this, but at the end of the night or the beginning of the day, transportation crowds? Yeah, not so much. That's why Disney's resorts that are within walking distance to the parks are so desirable and so expensive. You get to skip over the transportation crowds completely and just walk to and from your hotel as you please. It is an incredible luxury to be able to do that. Now, if you want to book a resort within walking distance to Magic Kingdom, then you'll want to aim for a deluxe hotel like Polynesian Village Resort, the Contemporary, or the Grand Floridian. But if you want a twofer and you want to stay at a resort within walking distance to both Epcot and Hollywood Studios, hotels like Swan and Dolphin, the Boardwalk Inn, or Yacht and Beach Club are going to be your bread and butter. We all have someone in our lives who we'd love to bring to Disney World, a parent, a child, a partner, a best friend, and there's always going to be a dozen odd reasons to keep putting it off. Schedules don't align, or prices keep going up, or the kid needs to hit X, Y, and Z milestones before you can make it happen. Look, I'm not one to throw around YOLO lightly because cool people don't say that anymore, apparently. But there comes a point when you just got to make the plans and make the budget and make the room in your schedule and make the proper adjustments to finally take your favorite person to your favorite place. Maybe it's not the perfect trip or the most extravagant trip you've always dreamed about, but life is short. It is better to take that trip, even for a brief getaway, rather than regret missing out on your window of opportunity. I believe this wholeheartedly because I have brought many of my favorite people to Disney World, and it's always been worth it for me. Even if they didn't love it, we still had a great time, and it was still always worth it. And then you get to watch your mom ride Flight of Passage. That just blows it all out of the water. Okay, hey, all you Star Wars fans, I've got another bucket list item for you. You're just going to need to save up for this one. Savi's workshop gives you that chance to not only customize your own lightsaber, but also be part of that immersive 20 to 30 minute building experience. Savi's does require advanced reservations, which open 60 days before your visit, like an advanced dining reservation. So don't forget to secure your spot in Savi's ahead of time because reservations for this experience do fill up fast despite the incredible $250 per saber cost. But it is very cool in here. Even if you're not necessarily a huge Star Wars fan, you will still get it and it will still be awesome. So just a heads up, building your authentic lightsaber, definitely on a bucket list. So even if you choose to spend just a single night at a Disney Deluxe resort, you could have the opportunity to stay inside one of the parks for up to 2 hours after they close for everyone else, which means extra time to get on the rides with much shorter wait times. Not every ride is going to be open during extended evening hours, but most of them will be. And I will say, while I don't necessarily think it's worth paying an extra however many hundreds of dollars to stay at a deluxe resort to do extended evening hours at Animal Kingdom, Hollywood Studios, or Epcot, I do think it's worth it to pay a little bit extra to do Magic Kingdom's extended evening hours because so much is open. You can get Dole Whips and it is empty. Nobody's there. The lines are super short and you can basically get a whole day's worth of Magic Kingdom rides ridden in those 2 hours, give or take. So I would say it's worth it to maybe spring for a deluxe resort for that last night of your stay just to go to Magic Kingdom extended evening hours. But do check those park hour calendars because it doesn't happen every night. It happens rarely, about once a week. So definitely check and see when those are happening during your stay. Talk about a milestone. So if you're already hitched, this might not be a bucket list item in the cards for you unless you're wanting to go really extravagant with the vow renewals. But if you've met that special someone and you're dreaming about getting married in your all-time favorite place, then Disney can make it happen for a price. Yep, getting married at Disney World is a costly endeavor, but it's definitely a possible one if that's your dream come true. And actually, as I was researching my book, which is coming out soon, by the way, it's called Disney Adults, I talked to a lot of Disney wedding participants, and Disney weddings are actually not that much more expensive than a regular wedding, like statistically. So just a heads up on that. Now, of course, you can always spend more money on more stuff, but the average isn't that much higher than what people spend on an average wedding outside of Disney World. Anyway, if you're interested in Disney Adults and that book, it's coming out on August 5th. You can head over to ajwolf.com and pre-order if you want to. Okay, so back to Disney weddings. Disney's official wedding pavilion is located at Grand Floridian Resort and Spa, but there are several several other locations where you can get hitched that might resonate with you even more, like the Casitas Courtyard in Coronado Springs, maybe somewhere in Epcot, or even smack dab in the middle of Pandora World of Avatar in Animal Kingdom. For more venues and ceremony details and price points, you can check out DisneyWeddings.com. So for the longest time, my dream resort duo was Yacht and Beach Club. Now, you know that one of my dream resorts was Boardwalk, and once I'd stayed at Boardwalk, it was Yacht and Beach. So it was super exciting when I finally booked a room and got to mark that off my own bucket list. One of the key reasons I wanted to stay in Yacht and Beach Club was simple. I wanted to swim in the best pool in Disney World. And that's exactly what I did, and maybe you'll be able to do the same thing too. Stormalong Bay is a pool enthusiast's dream come true. You've got a little lazy river, a 230-foot long water slide, 3 acres of water attractions, 3 whirlpool spas, and a sand bottom pool as well. Now, did I just say this pool has a 230-foot water slide? Yes, I did. Not only is this water slide one of the highest resort slides in all of Disney World, but it's also themed around a major shipwreck, and an impressive one at that. Basically, this is the only Disney World resort with its own mini water park in its front yard, and I love it. On a similar note, much like staying in your dream Disney hotel, there might be that one Disney World restaurant that's got a chokehold on your brain and won't let go. It might be a fancy restaurant like Takumi Tei in Epcot or California Grill in Contemporary. It might be a highly themed restaurant. You want to get into Space 220 in Epcot or 50s Primetime Cafe in Hollywood Studios. Might even be somewhere that's not necessarily pricey, but just has the vibe and foods you will really want to experience, like Satuli Canteen in Animal Kingdom or Docking Bay 7 in Hollywood Studios. But it's one of several reasons why we created the DFB Guide to Walt Disney World Dining, which, by the way, you can pick up over on dfbstore.com. Not only can you find tips and tricks and budgeting hacks and our top recommendations for every single Disney World restaurant, but you might just come across a brand new bucket list item that you never would have known existed otherwise. Yep, we are in the business of making those dreams come true. Okay, it might be a bucket list item for you to just ride Rise of the Resistance in Hollywood Studios once, because this is one of the coolest Disney World rides to date, and it's not easy to get on. With so many immersive elements and state-of-the-art technology pieces, pulling the whole thing together, it's kind of a must-do when you're over there in Hollywood Studios, and especially in Galaxy's Edge. And if you're fortunate enough to ride this one multiple times, then you might have the chance to ride both versions of the attraction and see which ride-through style is your favorite. The front transport vehicle and the back transport vehicle on this ride have slightly altered versions that is going to change the way you see the story play out. While it won't change the plot or the conclusion, you will see some different angles of the showrooms that are just different enough to make riding both front and back worth your time. So if you're red or blue, you're going to ride in the front. If you are white or orange, you're going to ride in the back. Just a heads up as you prepare. I've got one more bucket list item for my Star Wars fans out there, and it won't cost you anything on top of your Hollywood Studios ticket price, but you are still going to need something important: some luck. During each Star Tours ride-through, one random guest on board the ship is going to be chosen as the Rebel Spy. So the moment is very brief. The Rebel Spy's candid picture will be put up on the screen for all to see, but if you're lucky enough for the Rebel Spy picture to reflect your face, that's when you're going to learn you're the true protagonist of this particular Star Tours story. Now, C-3PO and the rest of the gang will fight to keep you safe and away from the bad guys. While each Rebel Spy is completely chosen at random, you might have a better shot at becoming the one if you check out this Hollywood Studios ride toward the very beginning or the very end of the day. It's a simple hack: fewer people, more chance to be the Rebel Spy, but it's a hack nonetheless. Sometimes the simplest tips are the ones people forget the easiest. So one of the prettiest backdrops in all of Disney World is that towering tree of life in the middle of Animal Kingdom. More than likely, you're not just going to get 1 or 2 photos in front of this carved beauty. Your whole camera roll is probably going to be bright green and leafy by the end of the day. And if you're sitting there chuckling to yourself going, "Yep, that sounds like me," same, then you might be interested in adding a professional tree of life photo session to your Disney World bucket list. Capture Your Moment is available in each of the Disney parks, but if you book it for Animal Kingdom, you'll receive a private 20-minute photo session with a Disney PhotoPass photographer around Disney World's wildest park. Each 20-minute photo session is $99, but you can always book 2 back-to-back photo sessions for more time and more Tree of Life photo opportunities. So Disney's customized souvenirs are some of the best. Not only do they help you commemorate your Disney World trip, but you'll be able to take home a piece of Disney merch that's completely unique to you. Custom souvenirs are available multiple locations around Disney World, but here are just a few of the DFB team's personal favorites. And yes, we talk about this a lot because they are so cool and they're usually pretty affordable as well. First, the ornaments. If you visit Magic Kingdom's Ye Olde Christmas shop or Disney Springs Disney's Days of Christmas store, you can pick out a festive ornament, even in the middle of summer vacation. Then, whatever ornament you choose, you can get it personalized by a very artistic and talented cast member for a few dollars extra, depending on what details you decide to add. Now, close to Ye Olde Christmas shop, you can also find a custom parasol cart. Now, the parasols available are all hand-painted. You can purchase one that's on display, or you can ask the parasol artist for a few custom designs if you have something more particular in mind. And the Coca-Cola cans. So the Coca-Cola store is in Disney Springs, and it has this big red kiosk that lets you create your very own personalized can of Coke. During this experience, you'll get to pick which kind of Coke you want, your can's design, and the message you want to add to make it uniquely yours. We have a DFB one. Whether Disney World is a once-in-a-lifetime trip for you or a repeat offender vacation, everyone deserves a Disney day where the sky's the limit and a no is off the table. Within reason, of course. So what is a yes day? And isn't a yes day a Disney trip in and of itself? Well, sort of. Think of it this way. No matter how weird or strange or out of character it may be, you and your group can take turns suggesting things to do in Disney World and saying yes, within legal limits, of course. Like, don't be like the guy in Disneyland who took off all his clothes and went swimming in It's a Small World. That's not cool. Anyway, saying yes to whatever plans y'all conjure up within your travel group is a super fun day. That way, you can build a great, unique, and super personalized Disney itinerary that maybe your group would have never thought of before. Here are a few suggestions if you need help getting started. You can say yes to an Animal Kingdom Lodge lobby art tour. You can say yes to a Dole Whip only food crawl. You can say yes to hopping between all 4 parks and riding one ride in each location, or say yes to renting a Surrey bike and riding it around the Boardwalk Inn. The Disney World is truly your oyster. So what if you could just show up at your favorite Disney World park with all the lightning lanes already lined up and reserved for you to use? We're not talking about purchasing them one at a time like single pass requires, or continuing to book multi-pass lightning lanes so you're holding up 3 all day long. We're talking about just having all the lightning lanes for your whole group all ready for you to go for the entire day. No extra thoughts, no extra planning, just go. Premier Pass is how you do this. It's pricey, but if you're gonna go on a once-in-a-lifetime visit to Disney World, it could be your most valuable tool during your visit, especially if you're traveling during a peak season time. Because Premier Pass grants one-time entry into every lightning lane queue in a given park for one price, there really are no limits. You can go on every single ride in the park with little to no wait. Now, guests staying at any of the Disney-owned hotels can purchase Lightning Lane Premier Pass up to 7 days in advance of your hotel stay, starting at 7 a.m. Eastern, while those who are not staying at a Disney World hotel can purchase Lightning Lane Premier Pass up to 3 days in advance of their visit, also starting at 7 a.m. Now, warning, these passes do book up quickly, so if you want them to knock off your bucket list, you'll have to set those alarms and try to get them as soon as you're able. All right, you see those cute Mickey and Minnie dome cakes, the ones on display over at Emirates Patisserie in Disney Springs? Well, what if I told you could learn how to make one of these? The Emirates Cake Decorating Experience is a 90-minute class that lets you and a friend decorate your own character dome cake while you sip on an assortment of refreshments. This experience costs $199, but that price does cover the other person joining you too, unless you want to add a second cake to your experience for an extra $50. Whether you book yourself a stay at the Grand Floridian or not, all are welcome to reserve a luxurious spa day at this flagship deluxe resort. The Grand Floridian Spa is themed after a tranquil Floridian garden and offers a wide range of services, including massages for 2, warm stone massages, botanical body treatments, facials, and mani-pedis. There's also a full salon and a relaxation room for stress relief. So palpable, you'll have a hard time remembering you're only steps away from the chaos of Magic Kingdom. If you want to reserve a little R&R at the Grand Floridian, you can email the spa at spa.requests@disneyworld.com or call 407-824-3039. Regular cocktails are very tasty, but what about cocktails that make people chant weird things and make volcanoes erupt and make zombies limp across tiki bars. When you go to Trader Sam's Grog Grotto in Polynesian Village Resort, your adult beverages are not just drinks. They are part of the immersive storytelling going on around you. Depending on what you order will determine the interactive events that unfold, meaning you're bound to have a different experience each time you visit. Trader Sam's is a tiny bar that's also super popular, which isn't a great combination. Just means this grotto gets packed out real quickly each and every day. So your best course of action is to show up 30 to 40 minutes before the bar opens, which is around 3 p.m., and add your name to the walk-up wait list. But I promise it's worth it. If you're an annual pass holder, a cast member, or a Disney Vacation Club member, you could have the very rare opportunity to attend a preview day, which gives Disney's VIP guests a chance to test out a new ride or location, etc. before it goes live. It also gives cast members who will be running said attraction the opportunity to practice working it before the attraction makes its official debut. This is kind of how they iron out all the kinks. Preview days can be met with unpredictable kinks and hiccups, which we saw a whole lot when Tiana's Bayou Adventure was in preview mode. But when all the stars align and everything works in your favor, then attending a preview day means you'll be one of the first folks to experience a brand new Disney attraction ever. Now, if you are interested in when these preview days happen and all the details around how to book your particular preview event, sign up for our newsletter. We have all of the details as soon as they're announced because we know how critical and important it is to get that information ASAP because those previews do sell out quickly. So if you sign up for our newsletter, you'll get that info as soon as it drops. You can sign up for it in the description of this video. The link will be there and it's totally free. There's so much to see and do at Disney World, and I know it can feel overwhelming, but remember, this bucket list doesn't all have to be accomplished in one trip, nor does everything on this bucket list have to be on your personal Disney bucket list. So let us know in the comments what your Disney World bucket list consists of, and don't forget to pick up our free Special Occasions in Disney World guide over at disneyfoodblog.com/special right now. Thanks for listening, everyone, and thanks for watching. As always, this is AJ for Disney Food Blog, and we'll see you real soon.